Welcome to Off Topic with Tim and Matt, our chirpy little sports podcast that always goes
Off Topic.
Okay, so before we go, you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, and comment. Anything we say, throw it at us. Okay, big
Correct
news.
us when we're wrong.
Yeah, or when I'm right. Hockey free agency, NHL. The big news coming out of Toronto, Mitch Marner. Viva Las Vegas, baby. See you later, bud.
Well, and it wasn't even a free agency signing. That's it was a sign and trade.
Yeah.
So a lot of teams kind of did that right away.
Montreal got that Noah Dobson guy in the same deal, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of teams did that just to get something back for their players.
Yeah.
And teams like Vegas didn't want Mitch Marner going anywhere else, so they made sure they did the sign and trade, gave up not very much for it.
I read something that Kyle Dubois guy, who's now with Pittsburgh, wanted to trade Mitch Marner a couple of years ago, like the mega trade, and lost his job over it. And now they traded him for absolutely nothing. And it's so unbearably Toronto.
Yeah.
Whatever. Montreal made some trades. They got that Luke Baldock guy for Logan Mayo. So they moved a young defenseman. They was a little bit of a surplus for a gritty little 22-year-old right winger with some size, some grit, some sandpaper, which is what they missed and needed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of good. We'll see how he pans out. Free agency. Any other big? Sam Bennett got locked up right away.
Brock Besser stayed with the Canucks.
Yes, I was hoping he would go to Montreal, but no.
No, and a lot of teams were hoping that. They didn't figure that he was going to get a deal done. He actually signed for less than he could have gotten on the open market.
Good for him.
But he got locked up for 7 years with a $7.3 million annual value. He wanted to stay in Vancouver. Vancouver wanted him to stay. Vancouver only wanted to give up 5 years. He wanted a 7-year deal. He was willing to give up money to get the years. Smart play by Besser.
Yeah.
Brings a little more consistency back to the Canucks. I like that.
Great play.
Yeah. My Kings signed Corey Perry. So they're going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose because that's what Corey Perry does for teams.
Lock up your moms.
Yeah. Yeah. Another forward, Joel Armia. They lost.
Joel Armia is great.
They lost a big defenseman, Gavrikov, to the Rangers.
Okay.
Which I was a little upset about because I liked him. He's going to go good with that Adam Fox there in New York.
New York.
And I haven't seen any other big ones.
This year, it's a bit of a dud. Next year, it's studs factor because Connor McDavid is eligible.
Yeah.
And what happens at Edmonton, it's going to be... There's some really big free agents next season. This year, this is one of those years like, Mitch Marner, other than that,
Yeah.
Next year, it's going to be a pretty big deal. The MLB draft NHL draft, is finally done. And my Habs, just on a quick note, picked up they moved their first 2 round picks to get that Noah Dobson guy, which is good.
Yeah.
So then they traded 2 other second round picks to move up to number 34. They got Alex Zarovsky, who's a right winger out of Russia, and apparently is childhood buds with Ivan Demidov.
Oh, okay.
The stud they got,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, Montreal obviously needed size up front. Number 69, they picked up Hayden Papakinis, who is from a First Nations community north of Winnipeg. Played for the Kelowna Rockets, 6'5", 203-pound center. So always looking for the diamond in the rough. The one guy everybody misses, the Pavel Datsyuks of the world.
Yeah.
And then 113, the next interesting guy. There's like a couple of goalies and stuff. L.J. Mooney, John Mooney. They call him Little John because his dad is John. He's L.J. Little John. 5'8", 160 pounds with very good feet and very good hands and a great hockey sense. So we'll see. Those 3 guys are 5 years away. You write down their names, put their name on the phone. Yeah. 5 years from now, you go check up on them again. But anyway.
So I had a cute story out of LA in the draft.
Yes.
There's a fan there.
Yes.
That he's a super LA Kings super fan. And the draft was in LA. So he goes to LA to watch it. And he's sitting there and he looks at the assistant commissioner, Bill, or the NHL commissioner, Bill Daly.
And he's there. This is late rounds. He's there all like 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes to Daly earlier on. He goes, "Hey, can I announce one of the picks for the Kings?" And Daly goes, "Maybe later."
Sure.
Right. And then,
sure, kid, maybe later.
Yeah.
And he's got his Kings jersey on. He's wearing his hat, and he's sitting in the front row.
And then so he goes up there. So Daly sees him again later on, and he's like, "Huh?" Right. And Daly turns to say something and points to him. Right. And he goes, "Next thing you know, somebody's coming up. Would you like to make the announcement for the seventh round?"
Seventh round. Yeah.
Seventh round. And they say it was the announcement of the draft. He got up there and he just sold it. So
he gets up there and it reminds me of me. He's got his shorts on, he's got his hat, he's just this young kid who's like, "Hello, LA, let's bring it, make some noise." There's like nobody in the place. And they draft this young guy out of Kelowna.
Yeah.
And
Will Sharp.
It made his day, and the two of them. There's a cute video you can see it, and they got to meet each other.
Yeah,
and they interview him, and the player comes up to him. He's like, "Dude, that was awesome! Like, dude, that was just so awesome."
And the video's funny because the kids playing it off.
Yeah,
like it was chill, it was cool, it was. You could see him. He's like, "Yeah, this is the best day of my life."
That is great.
So, but a lot of enthusiasm.
The myth, the legend. Jeremy.
He
just brought it.
It was really good. So,
but good on him. He's a super fan. He's got the jersey. That's like a $200 jersey.
Yeah. Well, they gave him a jersey too when he came to meet Will Sharp. They gave him a Kopitar jersy.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, which is cool.
Very cool. It's just a fun story. And
I think pro sports, Bill Daly, great idea. Great. This kid is sitting there for days, and you see him there, and he asks you early, and you're like, "Yeah, right, whatever." Then you see he's still there.
Making eye contact. Making eye contact with Bill Daly. Seventh round pick.
With the fans. Come on.
Seventh round pick. Come on. Yeah. Have some fun, right?
It's not Adam Sandler doing the first round pick for the Bruins, but it's still a lot of fun.
Celine Dion in Vegas for the Montreal Canadiens. That was epic. Epic.
She sing it?
No. She's losing her voice. Mm. Yeah. Sang at the Paris Olympics, though.
Yes, she did.
Celine. In other news, so they had the remote draft with the NHL this year.
Right.
And other teams do this, where basically you have a couple of team officials at the draft, and the war room is back in, Montreal, Toronto, LA, whatever, and you're communicating on the phone.
Right.
Now, previously, you would go with the NHL, you'd have it at the rink. The teams got their table set up on the rink with the fans in the stands. And then, everybody's there and you're making deals and blah, 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 blah. But 26 of the 32 franchises begged the NHL to do a remote thing. Now, a lot of people don't like it. Everybody kind of hated it. But it was the owners and the GMs and all their staff that wanted this, because you don't need to coordinate all the travel time for an entire scouting staff.
Yeah.
Like everybody needs, there's 15 guys.
Yeah.
Say there's 14 guys. That's minimum 7 hotel rooms. It's a pain in the ass.
Well,
and you got to get all your equipment there and all your people, and you've got scouts off. It's just a big logistic nightmare. And you're trying to have private conversations while the next team is like right there. You get up to move, and you're like, "Hey man, can you move your chair a bit and get past?" So there's no privacy.
Yeah.
And it's different. All the other major league teams do this. They only have a couple officials at the actual location. Everybody's back in their war room, and you got a bank of computer screens. You got your whiteboard. You've got.
Well, the NFL's always. I don't think they've always done it that way. They used to have tables there.
Yeah.
But the majority of the people were always back home.
Yeah.
And the advent of the internet too really helps this out, because you can FaceTime with somebody. You're constantly connected, right?
Right.
So that makes it a lot easier. But you're right. The teams don't need to be there. They don't need to have 1 or 2 representatives there. They just need someone to make the picks for them.
Yeah.
Right? What's his name? The commissioner of the NFL? Goodell. Does 90% of it for the NFL.
Yeah.
You don't need to be there. So I like the idea. Baseball's never done it that way.
No. Baseball draft.
Always The kids don't come to it. The whole 9 yards. They're busy at school. They're doing graduation ceremonies.
Yeah.
And baseball is just like, yeah, we'll take that guy. Yeah, we'll take that guy.
Well, again, baseball's there were 30 rounds.
Yeah.
You're taking over 100 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, and they're not going to be anywhere for 5 years. So, I mean, NBA, NFL, NHL, they could play in the league the next year.
Yeah.
Conceivably, right? The odd one. But, it was, the only thing I don't like about the NFL draft is that it's Goodell making the pick and nobody's there. Like in the NHL, they would come up with the GM, head of scouting, assistant GM, and they would have 5 kids from their local minor hockey association standing next to them making the pick.
Yeah.
And then one of the kids would go up and they make the pick or something.
Yeah.
The owner, Jeff Molson's there. And it was sort of fun, give it a bit of a campy feel. Celine, Happy Gilmore this year, Celine Dion a few years ago.
Yeah.
Montreal dragged SGA all the way to LA to make the pick. And then they trade the pick away. And he's standing there like,
oh my goodness.
Why am I here? It was epic. It was like, oh my God, we're so sorry. It just happened, Oh my God, it was funny.
Yeah.
But I kind of like having a team official and, maybe someone
there, yeah.
Johnny Gaudreau's widow came up and did the thing for Columbus. Super class.
Yeah, 100%.
Super class. Like, that's really cool. So the NFL needs to sort of loosen up a bit and get some GMs there and a representative from the team.
Oh, they do. They do. They have a team representative.
Joe Montana picking for like the 49ers. Or Marino picking for the
Barry
Dolphins.
Sanders for the Lions.
Right? Like something.
They have that. They do have that.
Yeah.
But it's just the coach and the GM and the scouting staff are back home in the war room. And the majority of the people that are going to be welcoming these players in, because when you get drafted in the first day, you're on a flight that day.
Yeah.
You're showing up in LA or Buffalo or wherever the next morning,
right,
to be introduced to the team for the photo ops for the whole 9 yards, coach and the GM and whatnot the very next day, right. So it's one of those things where you want to be at your home base to welcome these kids in, right. Otherwise, it goes 3 days and they all come in at the same time as the coach is flying back at the same time and everybody else organizing. It becomes a kerfuffle. So this, I think, is really good because it gets the players into the city the very next morning. The families go with them. They do tours. They get lunches. It's very cool. Yeah. I mean, NHL, it's logistically this day, it's way easier to do this. The fans don't like it as much, but it makes more sense. Anyway, so that's it for free agency. It was kind of like it's a dud year. Next year's the big year. Montreal still needs that number one center, but they're patient. So go Habs. Anyway, now we're going to go a little off topic. That's it for NHL. The GOAT. 4th of July. The gross. 4th of July. The Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest at Coney Island. Joey Chestnut, 17-time champion of the mustard belt. 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes. The next guy. This is horrible. How do you The next guy barely got 40 or 50 in. He just owns the record. There's no contest. And here's the funny. My son was supposed to be here to do this with us, but he didn't want to get out of bed this morning. So let me read a stat. So somebody figured this out. Joey Chestnut versus Usain Bolt. Right. Now, Joey Chestnut can run the 100 meters in anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds, right? Usain Bolt can do it in 9.6. But if they had to eat a hot dog first, Usain Bolt takes about 25 seconds to eat a hot dog and then runs it by 9.6. Joey Chestnut can pound a hot dog in 5 seconds. So with that extra one hot dog, Joey Chestnut can beat Usain Bolt in the 100-meter dash. Somebody actually crunched those numbers. And this is the only thing he does. He's won the chicken wing eating contest. Yeah, he's won that or something like that. It's gross. He's the GOAT, man. And the whole time Benny's reading off all these stats. Like he's won the hamburger eating
He's my wife the whole time is like, it's gross. She's around the corner, right? It's gross.
I agree with your wife. This is just disgusting. I mean, what? Like, you're sticking the bun in a cup of water to make this paste that's just horrible. Like, that's not eating a hot dog. That's just, that's like, how much can you cram in? It's disgusting.
He takes medication to open up his sinus cavity so he can breathe through his nose faster, and does special exercises to expand on neck and stomach so he can get more in there. I just don't want to be next to him for the 3 days after he's won this contest, because it's got to be like, you think this is gross? Imagine what it's going to be.
This guy, he's just rubbing them against his teeth. He's like shredding them. What do you got, a grill in there, pal? Oh. And the thing is, I love hot dogs. You're ruining them for me. This is disgusting.
It's so good. Who even thought of this in the first place? Who thought this was a good idea in the first place? It's the grossest.
I love eating competitions.
I know.
But this is speed eating, and I don't like speed eating. I like, they got that one 72-ounce steak. And
the bun and the salad and the beer that looks like a cowboy boot.
Yeah, you got an hour to finish this 72-ounce steak with all the fixings type thing, right?
It's just vile.
I love watching stuff like that. This year, it makes me want, it's like gagging watching them. He
just shoves it in there. He does it. 17-time champion. And he's made a ton of money off it. He got all sorts of endorsement deals. He's like a construction engineer. Yeah. He's got a great job.
Yeah.
He doesn't really need the money per se. Like, he just does it because that's his deal.
No, it's horrible.
And there's a Japanese guy that's his sort of arch nemesis.
Yeah.
That doesn't do the hot dog eating contest anymore, but goes against him in the other thing. And it's just vile. It's the funniest thing. He's the GOAT. No one will ever top his numbers for the hot dog. It's bigger than Jordan LeBron, man. Like, he's bigger than Gretzky on this.
Let's go back to here and give Miki Sudo her props, because she ate 33 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
I mean, and the problem is, with the Japanese, was the Japanese woman or a Japanese guy that went up against them?
Oh, Joey?
Yeah, going up with Joey Chestnut, because they were going man on man.
There's a Japanese guy for a while there, but he didn't seem to be in this one.
He didn't. The problem with the Japanese guy, he needed an agent to look him in the eye and say, "Look, dude, you're the villain in this. This is WWE. You're the villain, and you're going to make $1 million being the villain. So you gotta trust me on this."
I don't know if he was in, but
he's just vile.
Yeah.
Okay, turn it off, Wayne. Bring up the next graphic. I can't even watch it anymore. A hot dog, a really good hot dog with really good fries and poutine is my favorite meal.
Yeah.
My favorite meal. I'm not making that up. Okay, so comment, like, and subscribe. And anything you want to say on that, we're not going to disagree with you. But we got a graphic up. Muay Thai is coming up in August. And Wayne is going to bring that graphic up. And there it is. So it's at BCIT. My son should be fighting. He was supposed to fight in Langley last week, but they couldn't find him an opponent. Which kind of sucked because he was training super hard. But this one, they should get him an opponent. And we'll bring this up closer to the date. August 30, I think, is the weigh-ins. The 31st is the Saturday. And that'll be the... Are you paying attention to me?
No, man. There's there's a strawberry shortcake eating
Would you shut up?
I want to go with that one. This guy ate 22.3 pounds of strawberry shortcake.
August 31st. I'll tell you,
that one.
I was in Cubs when I was a kid, and my favorite thing to do, they put a ground sheet down.
Yeah.
And they had 2 store-bought cakes, a chocolate and a vanilla. And you stood in a circle, and you rolled the dice. If you got snake eyes, you jumped in there, grabbed a fork, and started eating. And then you tapped out, the next guy would hit the next cake, and someone would come in and tap you out. It was the most fun I've ever had. I've wanted to do it at parties for years, and everyone was like, "That is gross." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's fun. You get to eat as much chocolate cake as you want."
Anyways, Muay Thai. What were we talking about?
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Not Mai Tai. The guy that does the announcing says Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai. And I keep telling, Shauna and James Bergen kind of help organize it. I'm like, can you just tell the guy it's Muay Thai? And because she wants me to do the announcing, the ring announcer.
Right.
But because the ones in Langley are on a Friday, I can't guarantee I'm going to be there because work gets in the way, and I don't want to leave the Strat. So she gets so pissed off because she loved me from the football. I did the football, right?
Right.
I goof around, have some fun. So yeah, but it's Muay Thai. So it's a provincial Muay Thai championship, August 31st. Weigh-ins are the 30th. Get there on the 31st. And there's the QR code. I don't know if you can get that QR code off, but the details are coming up. Tickets will go on sale soon. And my son Ben should be fighting. We'll get him in here and we'll promote it some more. Okay.
All right.
Like, subscribe, comment. Anything else? Anybody else? Wayne? No?
I think we're good.
We're good?
They're good.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and comment. Off Topic with Tim and Matt, where we always go.
Off topic.
Thank you.